Hi everyone, I hope everyone's having a great day. I'd like to first start off by introducing myself. My name is Marlon Wade, and I'm a guy who likes to wear skirts. Yes, that's right, skirts. Those pieces of clothing that only women are supposedly allowed to wear, even though back in the 1900s, all the way up to 1950s, women were not allowed to wear pants. It seems like most people forgot about that. But anyway, I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent. I'd like to tell you guys my story of how I got into skirts for men and what made me want to join the skirts for men movement. It started when I was 7 years old and I was in the second grade. From a young age, I was a real good observer, and I was always thinking to myself all the time. Now, the school that I was in at the time was a public school and didn't really require you to wear their school uniforms. But on this day, in my homeroom class, nearly three-fourths of the class was wearing the school uniform, and everyone had on pants, except one girl. Now, being the quiet observer and thinker that I was, she pretty much stood out like a sore thumb. At least she did to me, at least. So I started thinking to myself, wow, that must really be comfortable to be able to have your legs free like that. I gotta get myself one. I was thinking about that skirt and how cool and comfy it must be all day. But being the observer that I am, I looked around and realized that all the boys and men were only wearing pants, and all the girls and women were wearing pants, skirts, and dresses. But what put the final nail in the coffin for me and the idea of wearing a skirt was on the same day after school. My mother was taking my brothers and I school shopping for clothes, and when we passed the girls section, there I saw it, again. Pants, skirts, and dresses. And when we got to the boys section, all I saw was pants. I then realized at the age of 7 that men don't wear skirts. I kept my desire to wear skirts, through most of my school years, doing my occasional observing and getting annoyed that I couldn't wear one. And doing the occasional cutting out the inseam of my boxers when I was home alone was a big thing for me, just so I could get that airy feeling that only skirts provide. But it wasn't until I got into 11th grade when I first saw the Scottish kilt. I was at my grandma's 80th birthday party, and I was at an event hall. I walked out of the room that my family was in and into the lobby area and sat down so I could get some alone time. And that's when I first saw the kilt. The guy that I was wearing it was pretty big. He was standing around like 6'2". But I was in shock and awe because up until that moment, I always thought that only women can wear unbifurcated garments. Once I got home, I quickly went on the internet, and looked up what I just saw, not knowing what the name was, at the time. I didn't know what the name of that garment was. So what I did was on the internet, I put up men wearing red skirts and went to the images. And probably after about like 2 pages, I finally saw it and clicked on it, and thus being introduced to the Scottish kilt. I was so overjoyed because all this time I thought men could not wear unbifurcated garments, and the more I went on the internet looking at kilts, I eventually started typing in the term man skirt, and that's when I first saw utility kilts. Utility kilts is everything that a man skirt should be. Rugged, comfortable, and masculine. I never bought a utility kilt yet because of how expensive they are, but I'm definitely saving up for one. To this day, I know of about 10 man skirt companies, and I bet in the coming years that number will increase. And that, my friend, is how I got into the Skirts for Men movement. And now that you know the how, let me tell you the why. From the first day when I saw that girl in the skirt at my old school, all the way up till now, people would always make a joke or laugh at men who wear skirts on TV, in the movies, and in real life. This will always irk me because women were always, women and girls were allowed to wear pants, and nobody said a thing. But when it's a guy wearing a skirt or any other unbifurcated garment, he would get made fun of and called names. I even heard a crazy conspiracy that the Illuminati is trying to feminize men by making skirts mainstream, which I believe is complete rubbish. I mean, come on, if women can wear pants and still look and act like women, men can be able to wear skirts and still look and act like men and be masculine. I also find it quite strange that when women can pretty much wear whatever they wanted, it would never be called cross-dressers. But if a man decided, to do something just a little bit different, his manhood would be called into question. Now, being the observer that I am, I also realized that women know they have more choices than men. I remember one incident that happened to me. My cousin and I were getting ready to go outside and play, and it was summertime, so it was pretty hot outside. And she deliberately said, "It's hot outside. I'm going to put on a dress." At first, I didn't think too much of it, but when we were outside, by the time we got outside, she said one more thing. She said, "Sure is a good thing I'm a girl and I get to change into a dress when it gets hot." No, I didn't say anything back, but what I was thinking was, if this girl who was 11 years old knows that she has more fashion freedom than men, then older women must know this too. And that wasn't the only incident that happened to me. There were many, but I'll save those stories for another video for you guys. But now I believe that there is a bigger problem that runs deeper than skirts for men, but also runs into the men's rights movement in general. There's a video that I want you guys to watch, and it's by a guy named Warren Farrell, and it's called "The Myth of Male Power." I'll leave the link in the description box for you guys, so you guys can watch that video. There are a lot of topics that we will be discussing, from when and why these skirts become exclusive to women, from what can married men do whose wives don't want them to wear skirts, and we'll occasionally be talking about men's rights from time to time. In closing, I'd like to leave you guys with a quote from a guy named Tony Porter, and it goes like this: "If it would destroy a 12-year-old boy to be called a girl, what are we then teaching him about girls?" Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.